Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. And yes, it is time for the weekly news update, where we cover everything that's significant that's happening on both the Songbird and the Flare network. We're jumping straight in here with the usual fashion, checking out the FAsset dashboard by Dune. And if we scroll down here, as you can see, things are ticking along nicely. Look at this particular chart, the total value locked, the TVL, specifically for FAssets, just keeps going up and up and up. FAssets alone is hovering somewhere around $138 million worth. And again, we can just expect this trend to continue as time goes by. So it's great to see that adoption of the FAsset protocol and people putting that FXRP to use. Moving along here. Yes, there has been another huge burn that happens every single month. Another 66 million FLR has been burnt. And yeah, that's just a way that the inflationary pressures are being negated a little bit. Obviously, the circulating supply is still increasing, but this certainly stems some of that inflation rate. One of the reasons that the circulating supply that is inflating is through the Flare Drop program. Every single month we have these Flare Drops, and this month we had a 1.8% yield on all wrapped or staked FLR. You do have 67 days to claim it, and this is just a friendly reminder that if you haven't yet done so, it may be worth claiming them as soon as possible so you can get that FXRP to work. Even if it's just sitting there delegating as WFLR, it's better to be earning delegation rewards than just waiting to be claimed, right? Okay, this is probably the biggest news in my eyes. This is from the Zarman wallet, and they're building Flare Smart accounts. This is basically an account on the Flare side, or interacting with the XRP ledger, that allows XRPL accounts, or the XRP ledger accounts, to trigger transactions on the Flare network. This means that XRP users can access yield opportunities in Flare DeFi while staying fully within XRPL's familiar transaction flow. Here's how it works. You've got the XRPL transaction memos encoded intent. Flare Data Connector verifies those instructions, and then Flare executes them via proxy smart accounts one-to-one with XRPL address. So what does that actually mean? Well, with transactions on the XRP ledger, there is something called a memo field, and this is where you can put information, and you can basically tie that information, or you can post a transaction with specific information, such as an instruction to, let's say, deposit FXRP into Firelight, and the Flare Data Connector, the FDC, will actually verify these instructions and then execute them on the Flare network. Why is this so important? It's because the Zarman wallet is the most popular wallet of the XRP ledger, and people may not be familiar with how the Flare network actually works. You know, there's a lot of XRP holders that have never touched Flare, but with these smart accounts, they're going to have an expansion in their opportunities of what they can do with their XRP without even knowing that they're running through the Flare network. This is going to be absolutely huge for total value locked on Flare. And when is it going live? Well, 4 out of 5 blocks loading there, 80%. Who knows when it's going live, but I'm excited when this does, because it's a really big development that I think a lot of people in the Flare community may not fully have appreciated. Right, moving on here. We've got another cap increase for the FAsset program. 20 million has been added, and yes, 70% of almost 53 million FXRP is already used in decentralized finance applications. I know there's a lot of people that are still sitting on the sidelines for the Firelight protocol to launch, and we'll get onto that in just a minute because that seems just around the corner too. Right, if you didn't know, the XRP or the Ripple team and a lot of the XRP community were holding an event called the Swell event, and yes, they was running this promotion all throughout New York. You may have seen some of these on the taxis, and I think it's just a great way to promote the Flare network. Do more with your FXRP or with your XRP. Bring it over to the Flare network and start earning a yield. And as I said before, if you are a user of the Zarman wallet, you can earn a yield with the Flare network without even having to touch it. Very powerful stuff. Moving along here, we've got this from Hugo. Yeah, it appears that a licensed financial entity has filed for a Flare ETF. Now, this is just a filing, but it's certainly a step in the right direction. Who knows what comes of this? I'm sure we will see more news as the deadlines or the approvals come through, which is hopefully sometime in the near future. It would be a historic moment for the Flare network team to have an ETF. Right, we've got this, a new dApp that has just launched on the Flare network. It's a prediction market. Ignite market has just launched with a couple of different markets. And as you can see here, will XRP price be above $2.20 on November the 13th. And they also have a similar one here with the FLR price. So this is a way that you can basically gamble or basically put your money to use through various predictions, and if they come true, then you get paid. If they don't come true, you lose your money. So it's just another interesting aspect. We've seen these prediction markets be very successful on other chains, and it's great to see the DeFi ecosystem expanding with Ignite markets. I'll probably do a dedicated video in the near future, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that launch, and we'll really get into the nuts and bolts of how it works sometime in the next week or so. Yes, Firelight. Firelight is due to launch in November. That's this month with FXRP staking on the Flare network. I'm incredibly excited about this, and this is the official launch timeline, okay? So we've gone through August, we've gone through September and October. We're here in November, and it looks like that's when we're looking to launch phase 1. It could maybe even come as late as December, but I don't know. It says here on this Gantt chart that it's probably happening somewhere early to mid-November, which is sometime around now. So stay tuned for that. It looks like it's coming very soon. If you are staking XRP with Firelight once it goes live, you're going to be accruing Firelight points based on 3 key factors: the amount of STXRP or staked XRP, how long you hold it for, and point boost. If you're wondering what this is actually for a early promotion that they did for the first, I don't know how many, I think it was 1,000 people that signed up to their wait list. And in fact, I believe they doubled it, if I'm not mistaken, because the demand was so high. Waitlisted users get a foundational 1.1 points boost, so an extra 10%. Hit the ground running at launch. The earlier you join, the more points you'll earn. And this is risk-free with the, I guess, subtle risks or risks that are always there when interacting with any decentralized application, that being smart contract vulnerabilities, but it's gone through many audits, but the risk of being slashed is not in the equation during this first phase. So when they go live, what's going to happen? This is the actual interface. This is what it will look like. So very clean and minimal. Here's the process. First of all, you choose your vault. I think there's only going to be one vault initially, and that's the Firelight vault. You enter the amount of XRP that you want to stake, review the details, deposit and stake. You approve the spending of FXRP, and once approved, you finish the staking process, and basically that's it. You should receive a staked XRP in return. Okay, yes, X pools are now live on the Flare network. So USDX is now offering a quite generous yield of 8 to 15%, and that's basically a vault in itself that is backed by treasuries, if I'm not mistaken, and that's one of the yield bearing opportunities that they distribute back to the holders or the participants in this vault. Pretty low risk. Okay, so we have this news here from Bifrost, which is now more secure than ever with Blockade. All risky and malicious decentralized applications, websites, and NFTs will be monitored and blocked instantly before you interact with them. So another great feature brought to you by the Bifrost team. Right, onto NFTs here. We've got this news from Block Bonez. The latest distribution has now occurred. This is the November distribution, 1.1 million FLR distributed to our community. If you are holding a fully fused Block Bonez NFT, you can now claim them at blockbonez.com/rewards. So yeah, based on that, we've seen some very interesting yields from some of the best performing NFTs. You can see this one here with a claim in US dollars terms of $11. We've got this one with $54, and we've got this one with $101. And finally, this is the best NFT in the collection. There's 10 of them, an ultra rare with a special trait background, claiming $213 worth of rewards. Again, next month, it's actually going to increase again to 1.2 million FLR. And this trend is going to continue every single month until at least the 21st month, where we'll be distributing 2.1 million FLR. Right, Digital Dynamics fam, yes, the rewards for the Dynamics token has been made live. You can claim them at digitaldynamics.co.uk/rewards. You do get different amounts of Dynamics based on how much you own, but also how many NFTs are fully fused within each collection. So the best paying NFTs are the collections with the lowest fuse count, and the smallest Dynamics rewards for those with a very high fully fused count. So that's something to consider. And if you are a true fan and you have been collecting all of these collections, or if you at least own one fully fused NFT from every single collection, well, I do have some good news for you. This is a bit of a spoiler. This is going to be the last collection in season 1, while I draw my attention to another DApp, which is expected to launch pretty soon in the next couple of months. But yeah, I've got a little present for everyone that is a hardcore holder. Right, we do have this. This is the latest Patreon volume 1 of Making Money. It's a new series that I've created, and we go through a big discussion of a mind map and setting the foundation for anyone that is new to the community, how to use your FLR, what are the best opportunities with FLR, and the next series is going to expand to FXRP once we see the launch of Firelight and Enosis loans. But yeah, this series is something that I'm very excited about. And yeah, if you are a Patreon member, or if you check the link in the description of this video, you will be able to join the MasterMind group as well. So yeah, check the link below if you are interested. RFLR rewards are no doubt the biggest yield-bearing opportunities, and you get them through participating in decentralized finance. And if you are wondering, I know a lot of people were having their first month of claiming, and there's a lot of people screaming, rug pull this, rug pull that, and it's just a lack of understanding on how these reward flare tokens are distributed. So you get RFLR as a incentive for participating in DeFi, but you cannot redeem it all instantly. It's actually vested over 12 months. So you can claim a 1/12 of the amount that you receive instantly, but then you get to claim periodically at a rate of over 12 months. And yeah, that's something to just consider. You're not being scammed, or it's not a rug pull. You do get the rewards that you are entitled to, but the vesting period is 12 months. And all of this information is publicly available. I've done plenty of videos on how this works in the past. If you do want more information, just check out RFLR rewards on YouTube, and I'm sure you will find my video. So that is pretty much the news for this week. I would like to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Do have yourself an incredible day and weekend ahead. And until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.